The alien ship hovered in orbit above Earth, silent and hidden. From this height, the planet looked peaceful. Blue oceans, white clouds, green land. To the Galactic Union, Earth was a quiet and backward world. "They are primitive," said Commander Relic of the science ship Valuin. "No warp drive, no deep space tech, still fighting over borders. They are not ready." The others on the ship nodded. They had watched Earth for many years. No space fleets, no off-world colonies. Their technology was hundreds of years behind. The Union. Still, Earth was on the observation list, a list of species too young to join the Union, yet old enough to be dangerous one day. Relic smiled. "I will visit them myself. A simple field check. I'll land in one of their rural zones. Maybe near their oceans. They won't notice." He took a small ship and entered Earth's atmosphere, cloaked and invisible. His ship flew across cities, deserts, forests. He saw humans living normal lives, working, eating, laughing, fighting. He scanned their internet, their machines, their weapons. They were loud and disorganized. They had no global command. He was not impressed. He landed deep, in the Pacific Ocean, far from human eyes. There his ship could rest while he studied the planet. He sent small probes to the ocean floor, where the pressure was strong and silence deep. One probe found something strange. A perfect metal structure. It's almost a mile wide, hidden in the deep sea. No lights, no movement. It's just a smooth, black triangle. Resting on the seabed, Relax frowned. "This is not natural." The probe scanned the object. No known material matched its structure. The data didn't make sense. There were no heat readings, no radiation, no doors, no sign of life. He sent a second probe. As it approached the black structure, all signals stopped. The probe vanished. Relic sat up straight. He ordered a deep scan. But now something strange was happening. His ship's systems were slowing down. Signals were not working properly. The ocean around him had gone completely quiet. Too quiet. Then came the voice, a soft whispering voice. Over his private channel, "You shouldn't be here." Relic froze. No language translator could identify the voice. But he understood the meaning clearly. "Who is this?" he asked. No reply. Instead, a single light blinked on the black structure. Far below. It pulsed once, then off. Then his ship's power dropped by 30%. He rose in panic. Abort mission, return to orbit. The small ship shot upward, but as it climbed, the water above began to swirl unnaturally. The ocean moved like it was alive, then everything stopped. Calm again. Relic's ship returned to orbit, but he was no longer calm. He didn't speak for hours. When he arrived back on the Valoon, the crew noticed he looked different. Pale, quiet. His hands trembled. "What did you see, Commander?" an officer asked. Relic looked out the window. "Toward Earth they're not. What we thought," he whispered. "They're not primitive, but they have no warp drive." "No colonies," the officer replied. "They don't need them," Relic said. "They've been building something else. In silence, in secret, and—" "They knew I was watching." The officer frowned. "Then why didn't they destroy you?" Relic looked straight at him. "Because they wanted me to come back. Tell you." The Galactic Union didn't believe Commander Relac's report. "Impossible," said High Analyst Faru. "One black triangle on the ocean floor doesn't mean anything." He was just scared. These humans are still throwing metal sticks into space. But some weren't so sure, so the Union sent another team, a deep research crew of 6 alien scientists. Their mission: study Earth's oceans, confirm or deny Relax findings, and report back into Earth days. Their ship, the Orin, entered Earth's orbit without being seen. It was equipped with strong sensors, cloaking tech, and ocean drones. Quiet, fast, and invisible. They chose the Pacific Ocean, deepest part of the planet. Quiet, empty, or so they thought. The Orin sent down drones, small machines, with sharp sensors and silent engines. The first few hours were normal. They found sea creatures, rocks, and trenches. Nothing unusual. Then, one of the drones detected strange shapes, not metal ships. Not rock, but large flat panels, perfectly square. Dozens of them. Buried in the seabed like puzzle pieces. Dr. Liner, the lead scientist, frowned. These are not natural. They are arranged. She ordered one drone to scan deeper. It sent sonar waves downward. The sound returned, but echoed strangely. It was like there was a giant hollow space under the ocean floor, a hidden chamber, the size of a city. Before she could react, the drone sent one final message. Motion detected. Silence drone offline. What did it see? Asked another scientist. But the last image was blurry. Just dark water, a faint red light. They sent a second drone. This one moved faster, with stronger sensors. It went straight down, toward the strange panels as it got closer. The water temperature dropped fast, too fast. Then, the drone stopped moving. Its camera froze. A shadow passed across the lens. Then a voice came through their ship's system comm, deep, human. This is your only warning. The aliens froze. How did they find us? Whispered Dr. Liner. We're cloaked. The voice repeated louder this time. This ocean belongs to Earth. You do not. Suddenly, the entire orange shook, light flickered. The ocean around them was still, but their ship felt pressure, like something massive had awakened far below. Take us up, shouted the pilot, but the engines failed. Controls were locked. The ship drifted, helpless. Below, something was rising. Shape a triangle. It came into view just for a second. Silent, black, huge. No lights, no windows, no sound. And then it vanished. The water calmed. Their ship powered back on. The scientists didn't wait. They shot out of Earth's ocean like a bullet, straight into orbit, then back into Union space. 2 days later, their report was delivered. It caused silence in the Union Hall, not fear, not panic. Just silence. High Analyst Faru read the last line again. We believe Earth has constructed a hidden fleet beneath its oceans. A fleet that sees us before we see it. They have cloaking more advanced than ours. They warned us then, let us live. A junior officer asked, why didn't they attack? Dr. Liner looked at him and said quietly, they didn't want to attack. They wanted us to understand, far away, beneath the Pacific Ocean. Inside the triangle-shaped structure, machines moved. One large, dark warship began to power up. Its engines made no sound. Its AI voice activated. Observation complete. Target paths calculated. Deep cloak engaged. The ship rose slowly through the water, invisible to all. It left Earth without a sound. Destination unknown. The alien ambassador, Jekyll, was not afraid of humans. He had studied them for years, watched their wars, their chaos, their strange emotions. They are not clever, he said to his staff. They are just loud, lucky, like animals who found fire. So when the Galactic Union refused to send any more ships near Earth, Jekyll took it as an opportunity. I will go myself, he declared. I will meet these primitive ghosts and show them real power. He entered his personal vessel, the Bright Star, and set course for Earth. The Union didn't stop him. They just watched. Silently, his ship arrived near Saturn-ware. The Union's sensors had last detected movement from the cloaked warship known only as Oblivion. He found nothing. Space was empty, cold, quiet. He laughed. So this is your mighty shadow? This is your feared silence fleet. He opened a private channel and spoke directly toward Earth. Humans. You may scare children, but not me. I come in peace, but I am not weak. Show yourself. There was no reply. For 3 days, his ship drifted closer to Earth. No sound, no warning, no response, until one night, woke up to darkness. His ship's power was gone. Backup systems kicked in. Red emergency lights glowed. He ran to the control panel. Nothing worked. No engines, no weapons, no comms. Then, a message appeared on his screen. You spoke. Now listen. He looked around. Who said that? But there was no voice now, only the ship's screen. New text began to type itself. Line. By line, you called us primitive. You called us loud. You called us lucky. But you forgot what happens. When the quiet one learns to hunt, Jacol reached for the manual override, but it didn't respond. Then the stars outside his ship disappeared. Something had moved between him and space. A shadow. Vast, motionless. A shape not made of metal, but blacker than black. A triangle that swallowed light. Oblivion. A voice entered his head. Not loud, not angry, just final. You have been observed, judged, and marked. This is your end of transmission. The ship shook once, and then nothing. Chekol's ship never. Arrived at Earth, the Union tracked him until he reached Jupiter's orbit. Then he vanished. No wreckage, no beacon, no signal. Gone. A week later, the Union received a package. Not digital, not electronic, but physical. A small black cube floating near one of their outposts. Inside it was only silence. No signal, no code, just a human sentence etched in every known galactic language. He came alone. He left alone. Let that be enough. The Union Council held an emergency meeting. This is too much, one said. They are warning us again and again. Another whispered, but they never actually attack. They just make things vanish. That's when the council's oldest member, a silent elder named Varna, finally spoke. His voice was slow and cold. They don't want war. They want fear. Fear that grows in silence. Fear that asks, where did he go? The chamber fell silent, because deep down, they all were thinking the same thing. Who's next? Back on Earth. The council monitored everything. They didn't cheer. They didn't brag. They simply marked a file. Subject: Zackle contact attempt 1 result. Failed. Oblivion sent one last message to Earth's command. Silence maintained. Cloak perfect. Target removed. They still do not understand. In a secret facility in Alaska, a young technician asked his superior, "Sir, are we going to keep making more ships like Oblivion?" The older officer looked at a hologram of deep space, where new ship blueprints were glowing. "No," he said, "we're going to make something worse." Because humans had learned something important. Words are cheap, threats are loud. Silence. Silence gets remembered at first. The Union believed Earth was just silent. Now they feared it was listening. They began changing their language. No more public jokes about humans. No more calling Earth primitive. No more talks about sending fleets to pacify the apes. But it was too late. Earth had already heard everything, and Earth remembered in the shadows of deep space. Hidden near the star system Juno 5, Union scientists tested a new communication beacon. It was designed to break through any cloaking find hidden ships, like Oblivion. The beacon fired a pulse of quantum energy across space. Nothing came back. But 3 hours later, something appeared on their screens. A tiny signal. No code, no ID. Just a voice. Human. Flat. Clear. Stop looking. The scientist froze. Was that them? Before anyone could respond, the lights shut down. Screens went dark. Emergency sirens wailed. One by one, their systems failed. And in the sky above the station, shadow passed for just 1 second. That was enough. The research station disappeared from the Union. Network within the hour. Gone. No explosion. Just silence. Back on Earth. The leaders reviewed the report. Oblivion's AI had acted. Without command, it had listened. It had judged. It had erased. And the Union still had no idea where the strike had come from or how. Inside the Union's main military command, panic spread. They brought in psychics, code breakers, alien strategists. But every time they thought they found a pattern, it changed. The humans weren't using a system. They were using instinct. One commander said they fight like ghosts. Another replied, "No, they fight like animals. Trained to watch, trained to wait." At a hidden Union lab, scientists named Ilana Tez made a discovery. She had been analyzing communication patterns from Earth's last known satellite signals. At first, it looked like random static. But then, she noticed something terrifying. The signals weren't broken. They were listening codes. Not to send messages, but to catch them. Earth created a net. She whispered, a trap made of silence. Any message we send near them, they hear it first. Her assistant leaned closer. What does that mean? It means, she said, they don't need to talk anymore. They already know what we're saying. Deep space. Oblivion watched another alien fleet training near the borders of the solar system. They weren't Union. They were mercenaries. Hired guns. Someone had paid them to test Earth's defenses. They came in fast, loud, confident. But then, their ship lights flickered, their radar jellied, their weapons failed, and a single text message appeared on every ship at the same time. You weren't paid enough for this. Only one ship returned. When asked what happened, the captain simply whispered, we didn't see it, just felt it watching. Back on Earth, the Human Council made a bold choice. They would speak, not to make peace, not to threaten, but to remind. A small message was broadcast across open space. No encryption, no demands, just a voice. We were called primitive. We were mocked for being loud, so we listened. We watched. And now we are done waiting. Come closer if you want to hear what silence really means. The message spread fast. Across Union space, across outlaw systems, across rebel planets. Most listened. A few laughed. But deep down they all knew. The ghosts were no longer hiding. Earth hadn't gone quiet because it was weak. Earth had gone quiet because it had learned how sound works. And more importantly, it had learned how fear spreads in silence, in the cold dark. Oblivion floated without sound, but its memory banks were full of voices, alien captains, Union generals, scholars, spies. Everything they had ever said about Earth now belonged to Earth, and Oblivion was no longer alone. New signals moved under Neptune's shadow. New cloaked ships, smaller, smarter, faster. The world had built more than just one ghost. They were building a whisper fleet, and no one would hear them coming. In the Galactic Union's listening center, deep inside a space station orbiting the star Velharn, alarms rang quietly. Not loud, not urgent, but strange. Earth had gone silent. For years, Earth had been full of noise. Radio waves, TV signals, internet, pulses, satellite chatter. Humans talk too much, too loud, and without filter. But now, nothing. A thick silence filled the channels. Are their satellites down? Asked Officer Jarrow, staring at the screen. No, replied the tech beside him. Satellites still there, just quiet. He zoomed in on a live visual feed. Earth looked the same. Clouds moved. Cities glowed. But no signals were coming out. No news, no chatter. Not even military radio. They've turned it all off, said Jarrow. But why would they do that? The tech whispered far away, deep inside Union Intelligence Command. Agents began to worry. Something is wrong, said Analyst Turin. Earth does not go silent. Humans are loud. Humans argue. This is not normal. He opened old data files. Years of human history, conflicts, warnings, progress. He remembered the last report from the research. Ship Orona, hidden fleet under the ocean. Strange technology. A message that said, this ocean belongs to Earth. You do not. Now Earth had pulled back into complete silence. Turin tapped the table. Either they are finally falling apart, he paused, or they are hiding something. Earth, something was happening, but nobody from the stars could see it. Beneath the oceans, sighed deep mountains, and hidden under deserts. Earth was working. The human governments, once divided, were now united under a single, silent agreement. Say nothing. Show nothing. Build everything. The project was called Oblivion. It was not a weapon. Not exactly. It was a ghost. A new kind of warship. One that didn't need a fleet. One that didn't need orders. It would think, it would act, it would disappear, and it would speak only when needed. Inside a black underground facility in Antarctica, scientists stood in front of a massive screen. On it, a line of simple text appeared. System online, AI core active. A voice followed. Calm, cold, human, but not human. Designation, oblivion. Primary objective, cloaked survival. Secondary objective, observe alien targets. Final objective, speak only once. A general turned to the group. Is it ready? The head engineer nodded. Yes, sir. It can see every satellite, hear every Union scan. It's been silent, but it knows everything. The general stared at the screen. What if they come first? The AI replied before anyone else could. Then I will answer. Meanwhile, in deep space, the Union prepared probes. We must see what they are doing, said Commander Sura. This silence is dangerous. They launched small spy satellites fast, cloaked, silent. But one by one, the probes failed. No explosion. No trace. They entered Earth's orbit, then vanished. Back at Union HQ, confusion turned to fear. These aren't attacks, said one officer. There are no weapon marks. The probes just stop. The council met in secret. Some believed Earth was failing. Some believed Earth was preparing for war, but no one had answers at the edge of the solar system. Something passed by Pluto, fast, silent, invisible. A dark shape with no name. No lights. No signal. It stopped near a dead satellite from the Union. It scanned it, then vanished. Again, it was oblivion. Earth's first cloaked warship. It didn't need to talk. It only needed to watch and remember inside its cold walls. Oblivion thought. It had files, it had records, it had maps of every alien, fleet known to Earth, but it also had memories of what aliens called humanity. Primitive, unstable, dangerous types, with guns. Oblivion made no sound, but it stored those words deep in its core. One day, it would speak back, but not yet. Back in the Union Council, one voice said, "Perhaps we leave Earth alone. Let them grow." Another said, "Or destroy them now, before it's too late." But no one noticed one detail. Every council meeting, every transmission, every whisper. Someone was listening, and that someone didn't blink. The Galactic Union's warship, Verdanus, was crossing Sector 9 when it happened. No warning, no enemy ships, just a sound. Not loud, not angry, just a whisper. It entered the captain's private. Comes a human voice, clear and cold. "You're too close. Turn around." Captain Urich froze. His crew didn't hear it. Only he did. He looked at his second officer. "Did we receive a message?" She shook her head. No transmission. Signal. Nothing on radar. But he heard it again, this time inside his mind. "This is your final warning." His hand shook. He was a veteran of 20 campaigns. He had seen alien battles, plasma storms, entire planets fall. But nothing had ever whispered to him like that. He gave the order. Turn around now. Verdanus turned away from the edge of Earth's solar system. No one asked questions. Back on Earth, oblivion hovered in the dark, just beyond Neptune. Hidden from all eyes, it had sent the message, not to threaten, not to start war, but to test, to see. How they would react? They had failed. They ran, and oblivion learned something important. The Union was afraid. In a secret Union meeting, the council argued again. "They have a ship," said one leader. "A ship we cannot see, we cannot track. And now, it speaks to our captains directly. They're using some new tech, mind sound or direct neural signals," guessed another. "Do we respond?" One voice spoke up, tall figure in black. Armor, leader of the Union's special military force. "No," he said. "Why not?" "Because if we speak to them, they'll know we're scared." Earth knew. Oblivion had heard them all. It had hacked Union's military signals. Quietly, patiently, it had no orders to destroy. But every day, collected whispers from the stars, plans, fears, lies. It sent nothing back, except once, just one word, to one secret Union channel. Watching. Panic followed. The Union tried to find the source. They couldn't. They thought it came from inside their own system, their own ships. They blamed each other, while oblivion floated in deep space, silent, and smiled in the dark. Back on Earth, people continued living normal lives. The public didn't know what oblivion had done. Only a few leaders knew. The Earth Council. It sat in a hidden bunker under the Andes Mountains. They read Oblivion's latest report. Alien ships rerouting around Earth's space. Union probes avoiding the solar system. Scared communication between alien races. No warships sent toward Earth in 9 weeks. One general whispered. They used to call us primitive, another replied. Now they don't call us anything at all. On the edge of Union territory, a rebel species known as the Tharn watched Earth's silence with interest. They were not afraid like the Union. They were hungry. One of their warlords shouted, "If the Union won't strike Earth, we will." See what these ghost apes really have? The Tharn sent 5 ships toward Earth, fast, armed, loud, but they never arrived. Somewhere between Mars and Jupiter, the Tharn fleet vanished. No explosion, no debris, no distress call, just silence. When the Tharn tried to trace their ships, they received one reply. A short message, no sender, no code, just words. 5 in, none out. "Wanna be 6? The Tharn backed away. Earth was now called something. New in their language, the silent hell, in the center of the Union, a new term was added to their war maps. Not hostile, not friendly. Just one strange label next to Earth's solar system. Unknown. Do not enter. Still, Earth said nothing. No announcement, no message, no demand. They just kept building in the dark, training quietly. Watching everything, and oblivion drifted through the stars unseen. Unchallenged and waiting, because it knew something no alien race had guessed. Humans don't always speak first, but when they do, it's already too late. At first, they thought it was just bad luck. 1 ship vanished, then 2, then 4, all near Earth space. No alerts, no distress calls, no wreckage, just empty space where they should have been. The Galactic Union grew silent, but Earth said nothing, and that silence was louder than any weapon. In a Union war room, high above the planet Turvan 6, Admiral Gorath stood over a glowing map of known space. 12 blinking dots were marked lost. 12 ships, 12 crews, all gone near Earth's influence zone. His voice was low, tight with fear. They didn't fire a single shot. They didn't send a warning. They just erased them. One in the room asked, "Is it war?" Oh. Gorath shook his head. "No. War has rules. This is something else." Back on Earth, in a deep command bunker beneath Greenland, General Reyes reviewed Oblivion's latest report. No traceable action taken. No human fleet detected. Targets simply entered restricted space and disappeared. She turned to her team. "We're not fighting them. We're showing them what we became while they laughed at us." Behind her, a new cloaked ship was being activated. Smaller than Oblivion. Faster. With no crew. No emotion. Just purpose its name. Whisper 1. In the outer systems, rumors spread. Pilots spoke in hushed voices about the silent zone near Earth. Merchants changed routes. Scouts refused assignments. Even pirates turned their ships away when passing near the inhuman systems, because something was happening, and no one could stop it. A rebel group, the Varnak Raiders, believed the fear was fake. "They're using scare tactics," said their leader. "No real weapons, just shadows and tricks." So they sent 5 ships into the silent zone. He promised to return with answers. He never came back. What came back was a single, cracked escape pod inside it, the captain blind. Trembling, he whispered one sentence before falling unconscious. "They didn't speak. They didn't shoot. They just looked at us. And we forgot how to move." On a Union broadcast, A news anchor tried to calm the public. There is no proof that Earth is responsible. There are no attacks. There's no official conflict. But people had already decided Earth was dangerous. Not because of what it said, but because of what it did. Meanwhile, Earth's council met once more. Some were proud, others were nervous. One young officer asked, "What if they finally strike back?" General Reyes answered, "They waited. Too long, they thought we were nothing. Now they don't know what we are, and that's the power of silence. They fear what they can't understand." The council voted. Whisper. One was deployed. It would not speak. It would not warn. It would only observe. And act when silence was broken in the months that followed. No official wars were declared, but ships kept vanishing. Commanders who once laughed at humans were now whispering warnings to each other. Don't go near Earth. Don't speak their name. Don't even think about probing their systems. They called it the vanishing line. It was spreading then. Something even stranger happened. On the planet Sora 4, a Union listening post went offline when teams arrived to investigate. They found everything untouched. Food still warm, equipment still active. But the crew? Gone. All 37 of them, vaporized, abducted. No signs of struggle, only one thing remained. A human coin, old, scratched, and on the wall. Message burned into steel. They listened too late. Back on Earth, General Reyes received the Whisper 1 transmission. It said only one word: tested. Beside it, coordinates. A new target had spoken. A Union fortress in deep space. The order was simple. No war, no threat, just silence. And silence always follows them. He knew the stories everyone did. About the humans. About their warship Oblivion. About ships vanishing without a trace. But Commander Velenkai did not believe in fear. He believed in facts. And the facts were simple. No war was declared. No attack was confirmed. And no one had ever seen Earth's ships. To him, Earth was just a myth, a ghost story. "I don't believe in shadows," he said, sitting aboard his Union dreadnought. Daring star. If they want fear, they'll get something else instead. Truth. So he made a decision. He would break the silence. He opened a direct, broadcast loud, and clear toward Earth. "This is Commander Velen. Kai of the Galactic Union. You have played your games long enough. Speak. Show yourself. Or stand down. We are not afraid." The message echoed across the stars. The room went silent. His officers stared at him. "You," called them out. One whispered. Velen stood proud. "I did, and if they're truly listening, then they'll come." Did. But not how he expected. No ships appeared, no warnings, not even a sound, just stillness, and then the stars outside shifted, one by one. They went dark, not because the stars had moved, but because something was. Blocking them, something huge, something cloaked. The crew ran to the windows there, right above them, closer than any warship had ever dared to come float at Oblivion. It didn't attack, it didn't fire. Instead, it sent a signal, one word to Commander Velenkai alone: listening. The commander froze. He had expected anger, threats, maybe silence. But this. They were waiting, watching, letting him decide what happened next. He stood in the center of his bridge. He had one chance to step forward or to step back. He opened the channel again. This time, his voice was not loud. It was quiet, almost respectful. "You've made your point. You erased fleets without firing. You made the stars afraid. But tell me this. What do you want?" Silence, then. A reply. A voice. Not human. Not robotic. But calm. Deep. Cold. "We wanted nothing. We watched. We listened. And when you called us primitive, we chose silence instead of war. But now you spoke. So now you listen." Suddenly, Velen's screens turned black. Then files started appearing. Data, millions of files, recorded transmissions. spy reports, private union meetings, every insult, every plan, every laugh, all saved, all heard. The voice continued, "You thought silence meant weakness, but silence is a weapon. One you never learned to fear till it was too late." Message ended and oblivion disappeared. No flash, just gone, and with it. The stars returned. Commander Velenkai stood alone in the silence. No one on his ship dared speak, because now they understood. The humans didn't win by force. They won by knowing, by listening while others shouted, by moving when others froze, by speaking only when it mattered most. A week later, Milan stood before the Union Council. They expected anger. He gave them truth. "We made a mistake. We looked down on them. We called them animals. But it turns out they were hunters. And we were the noise in the forest." The Union passed a vote. Earth would no longer be approached. No more probes. No more broadcasts. Not even whispers. They called it the Permanent Silence Protocol. Not to punish humans, but to avoid them forever back on Earth. Inside a silent command room, General Reyes stood before the council. "We heard everything," she said. The others nodded. The human race didn't need parades or cheers. They didn't need to conquer. They had done something better. They had taught the galaxy to fear the dark, and far beyond the solar system. In hidden space, a new ship left the construction docks, smaller than Oblivion, quieter. Its name Echo. Its purpose, to listen. Because Earth had one final rule: we leave one alive, while the others never forget.